Dear students, a very good morning to all of you. I would like to welcome you all in the class of 12th. Today you are going to do A Thing of Beauty composed by John Keats. Stranger first. You are going to do Stranger first. First line. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. What concept has been given by John Keats through this first line? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. He wants to convey the masses that a thing of beauty provides eternal and everlasting joy. It leaves an indelible print on our mind, and we relive the joyful experience whenever we think about it. In the next slide, you will see the second line of the poem. Its loveliness increases. Loveliness of beautiful thing increases, and it multiplies the joy with every beautiful thought. Whenever we have a beautiful thought, it multiplies our joy, no doubt. The loveliness of a beautiful thing increases manifold each time whenever we visualize it. Next line. It will never pass into nothingness. Beautiful things never become a thing of no value. They stay valuable forever. Accordingly, the joy a beautiful thing provides is eternal, everlasting, that never comes to an end. The imprint beautiful things leave on our mind is indelible. Loveliness of beautiful things can never fade away or die away. They stay forever in our life. We keep on enjoying with all those beautiful things in our life furthermore. Next line of the stanza, but will keep a bower quiet for us. What is the meaning of this line? According to John Keats, the poet John Keats feels that a thing of beauty can never fade into nothingness. They never fade away. Their beauty can never fade away. The beauty of beautiful things are so eternal that they never fade away to become invaluable. It will store for us a quiet bower full of sweet dreams. Beautiful things store for us a pleasant bower, a pleasant shade, protection, full of sweet dreams throughout the life. And beauty will provide us with peaceful and serene experiences. If we are connected with beautiful things of nature, we would keep on enjoying a very peaceful life and peaceful experiences with a healthy approach towards the life. Furthermore, in the next slide, you will see the next line, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. If human beings are connected with beautiful things of nature, they could enjoy healthy life, and if the life is healthy, definitely we could have sweet dreams and sound sleep. So this way, over here, the meaning, the concept is being elaborated that the joy beautiful things give us is everlasting. To the joy of a blissful sleep full of pleasant dreams. Beautiful sight act like nutrition for healthy mind and thus refresh and relax us. It will drive away aggression and restlessness. If beautiful things are involved and assembled in our life, we will be far away from aggression, depression, restlessness. We can never get tired or aggressive. So beautiful things provide us peaceful experiences and everlasting enjoyment. Now you are going to do the second stanza. First line of the second stanza is, therefore on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. So this is the first line of the second stanza. And what is the concept being provided by John Keats? He says that life on earth would be a pain without beauty around us. If we are far away from beautiful things, we could have pain and suffering and misery, worries in our life. So the message is that to keep connectivity, to establish everlasting connectivity with beautiful things of nature, to keep on enjoying a very peaceful, happy and healthy life forever. The poet John Keats feels that every morning we we uh, we were wreath of flowers which bind us to the earth and make us live our life. So on daily basis, in every day, we should assemble beautiful things like weaving the flowers into a garland to keep on enjoying our life happily, to live in integration, peace and harmony. Next slide, we are going to have the next line of the second stanza. Spite of despondence, life is a struggle where man often suffers pain and loss of hope. So this way definitely the life of human being is full of challenges, full of struggle, and over there human being often suffers pain and loss of hope. The people become hopeless and live in pain only if they are far away from beautiful things of nature as well as other beautiful things of life. So the masses definitely is being conveyed to keep the beautiful things connected in our life. The expression over here refers to the suffering and helplessness of a man which he experiences at various junctures of life. In the next slide, the next line is, of inhuman dearth of noble natures. What does John Keats convey through this significant line? That man is selfish and self-created by nature, self-centered by nature. So naturally the human being is very selfish, but if beautiful things are connected in the life, uh, the human being won't be selfish. He would become selfless. There are few noble people in society, in the country, who have risen above their petty differences and show magnanimity and generosity. So beautiful things only make the people generous, kind, humble, to live in integration, happiness and harmony. So nature teaches us the art of living, to live the life with its fullest, having the unity and integration with human being. So nature teaches us to live in unity and peace and harmony. On this earth there is surely a dearth or shortage of each noble people. So in the world only countable people are existing who are very noble, who practice nobility, humanity, generosity in their life. Otherwise, due to being far away from beautiful things of nature, the people become unkind, inhuman, selfish, greedy, money minded. So beautiful things of nature teach us the art of living, to live in unity, integration with all the practices of values into our life in the real sense, to make the earth a divine place to live in happiness and harmony. Next slide contain the next line of the stanza, that of the gloomy days over here means that life is a struggle for success. So it's the tendency of human being in the world that they go through so many struggles and challenges just to get the success. Without struggle and challenges, human being cannot achieve success in the life. So our path towards success gets obstructed by the deceit and selfishness. So on the way of struggle, we come across so many selfish people who befooled us, and it could be our workplace, our school, our college, or any place of society. We become sad and gloomy when we have bad experiences in our life. So what happens that during our struggle and challenges of life to get the success, so many people come in our way, and they deceive us, they befool us, and this way we have very bad experiences of the people and life, and that's why we become very sad. In the next slide, you can see the next line of the stanza. The next line is, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways made for our searching. John Keats over here wants to say that the unhealthy and over darkened ways refers to the trial and tribulations in the journey of life. Loss of faith and disappointment are the result of our own making. So this way sometimes we human being get our faith lost, means we get into having no confidence, we lack confidence and become disappointed. So beautiful things make life worthwhile. So beautiful things play a very important role to make our life beautiful, worthwhile, as they lift the veil of glooms, finding way for optimism and hopeful. So if we are connected with beautiful things, nature, definitely the beautiful things of nature, they remove all the disappointment, sadness and negativity of our life. They fill all the positive things into our life. In the next slide, you are going to do the third stanza, and the first line of third stanza is, yes, in spite of all. What does this line mean? The expression refers to all the pessimistic and negative thoughts that obstruct our way to happiness. So sometimes in our life we lose our confidence due to obstructions, hindrance, difficulties of our life, and we do not stay into the happiness. But beautiful things of nature, connectivity with the nature and its beauty, that give us the wisdom to enjoy happiness even during the time of struggle and challenges. In spite of feelings of hopelessness and gloom, we are able to find our happiness in the beautiful object of nature. So we can find happiness in the beautiful things of nature. So we should go in the shelter of nature to avert disappointment, sadness, misery, suffering, depression and all, and just to keep on enjoying happiness, enjoyment, peace and harmony into the life. In the next slide, you will see the next line of the stanza. Some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirit. What does John Keats want to say over here? He says that beauty in many shape or form helps in driving away the sadness and despair from our life. Beautiful things come into our life in different shape, in different way, and those beautiful things drive away the sadness and despair from our life. So we should connect ourselves with beautiful things of our life. It could be the beautiful things of nature, it could be some other form of beauty. Beauty gives joy and happiness to the human heart. Definitely the beautiful things provide everlasting happiness to the human heart and takes away sadness and gloom from our life. In the next slide, you could see the next line, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young. What does John Keats say over here through this line? Even simple object of nature show beauty at its best, and we can appreciate simple and serene beauty in the sun, the moon, the trees. So this way nature contains beautiful things. As for example, the sun, the moon, the trees, old and young, all are beautiful things to support our life in many ways. And bounties of nature have an elixir of life. In the next slide, you will see the next line of the stanza. Trees old and young, sprouting a shady moon for simple sheep. So what does John Keats want to say through this line of the stanza? The poets see the trees, whether young or old, as a symbol of protection. Whatever objects as beautiful things stay in the nature, are available in the nature, they protect our life, support our life. they are most useful. It doesn't matter that those objects are small objects. Trees protect us from heat. For example, trees of the nature protect us from the heat of the day during the summer days, from intensive sun of light. So this way they bless us with shade. So trees are very important. They protect us from the intense heat of the day. They bless us with shade. Sheep is a symbol of innocence. In the line, John Keats has given the example of simple sheep. So over here, simple sheep actually symbolizes innocence and serene beauty. And the poet has made a specific reference to the sheep as symbol of divine beauty. So nature contains divine beauty. Jesus Christ was a shepherd and his sheep his followers. See the next slide. Over here, next line is given. And such are daffodils with the green world they live in. What does John Keats mean over here? That meadows and pastures are beautiful and supportive life. They make our life beautiful and support our life in many ways. True joy and happiness can be enjoyed by looking at daffodils in these lush green meadows and pastures. So this way, nature is a treasure of beautiful things to make our life blissful, full of happiness and enjoyment. In the next slide, you could see the fourth stanza, and the first line of the fourth stanza is, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. What does John Keats mean here through this line? That clear rills refers to the rivers and stream. In this line, clear rills actually refers to the rivers and stream. So they stay in the nature, they are existing in the nature, rivers and streams. They are beautiful things of nature. The beautiful sight give a cooling effect. Whenever we are by the side of rivers and stream, we could feel very cool. So this way they give us a cooling effect which provide respite in summers. So this way we could relax ourselves during the hot season of the summer days. Come on, the next line of the stanza. The mid forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose bloom. What does this line mean in the poem? According to John Keats, poet enjoy nature's beauty. So everyone could enjoy the sight of beautiful things of nature in the thick forest, undergrowth. So even in the thick forest, beautiful flowers bloom beautifully. They scatter beauty in the surrounding of the thick, thorny forest. So in the mid forest is brimming with blooming musk roses. So musk roses are the wild flower plant, wild flowers, beautiful flowers. They scatter beauty even in the mid of the thick and thorny forest. Come on the next slide. Over here you could see the next line of the stanza. And such too is the grandeur of the tomb. What is the meaning of this line actually according to John Keats? Growth and decay march hand in hand. They are two vital aspects of life. They are like the two sides of the same coin. That if we are living into our life, definitely sometimes we could have happiness and sometimes we could go through some challenges and struggle of the life, hardship of life. And John Keats see beauty in decay and death of these beautiful things. So even if the life is beautiful, death itself becomes beautiful things. So this way we could learn a lesson from nature to live a very meaningful and significant life through our contribution and services to the mankind, society, nation. And this way, if we live a meaningful life, even the death of great people serving the society become a thing of beauty. It becomes a beautiful stage of life. Even death can be made a beautiful stage of life. So beautiful things of nature teaches us this art of living, to live a meaningful life, serving the nation, humanity, society, poor people, to help the needy, So this way we could live a meaningful life, and this way such people have a beautiful death. The lines beautifully bring to the light contrasting aspect of life, growth and decay. Next slide, you could see the stanza fifth, and the first line of stanza fifth is, we have imagined for the mighty dead. What message has been conveyed through this beautiful line of the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats? That the mighty dead refers to those great warriors who glorified death by embracing it. So this way they embrace death through their services, and they never is scared of death. So even their death became a beautiful things. The poet John Keats feels that beauty is not limited to birth and growth, but can also be seen in magnificent death. So beautiful things does not mean that only birth and growth can be a beautiful stage of life. Even death could be a beautiful stage of life through our true services and meaningful life. In the next slide, you will see the next line of the stanza. All lovely tales that we have heard or read. What is the meaning conveyed by John Keats through this beautiful line? Great men leave an everlasting source of motivation to all those who read or hear about them. So, this way, great people, noble people, they keep on inspiring and motivating our life to live a very meaningful life. And this line also means that a glorified and magnificent past is never forgotten. Glorified and beautiful past could never be forgotten, and it gets recorded in the lips of history.